Good afternoon, AFC Bournemouth fans. Welcome to Back of the Net. My name's Sam Davis. If you like this video, do make sure you subscribe to the channel for more AFC Bournemouth content and hit that like button as well. If you don't like it, be a dick. Hit the thumbs down, whatever. That's the least of my concerns. Tomorrow, though, is massive. Live on Sky, in front of the nation, in front of the world, and it's a huge game for us. Watford having a decent run of results under Nigel Pearson. AFC Bournemouth less so. The Cherries were successful in their last match, beating Luton Town 4-0, and no one's going nuts about it. No one's thinking everything's going to be alright after beating one, a side that's bottom of the Championship, two, they put out their reserves, and three, they were poor on the day. But to win 4-0, to gain some momentum, is huge, and goals for Dom Solanke, Callum Wilson, even Philip Billing will all help. The crowd have been asked to get behind the boys. Aaron Ramsdale put out a video via AFCB TV. They've also been getting the little clippets of the presser from Eddie Howe asking him about how the crowd can make a difference, and he's responded, and they've used that bit of interview. And there are a lot of people on Twitter sat back in their chairs thinking, well, lads, it's not up to us. You've been poor. You're the millionaires. On this occasion, boys, let's just take away this veil of hostility towards everything that AFC Bournemouth put out, and let's just cut your nose off to spite your face and get behind the lads. I know that there's some negativity towards it, but the thing is, our fans have been quite poor, really. I've said this before, we're very reactive than proactive. We've been spoiled over the last 10 years, relatively, by sitting back and, being able to create an atmosphere through what the players have done. The first time that they've needed us, and we're sat back saying, why are the club telling us to do that? Have a word with yourself. We need to get behind the boys. And if you don't want to create an atmosphere, that's fine, but if it gives them that 1% extra they need, why wouldn't you? Or perhaps it's not your responsibility, perhaps it's all up to them. It's a two-way thing, and I think over the years that they've given us enough, and I think it's time for us to give a little bit back. Yeah, it's a two-way street. It's not just up to the players to entertain us, it's also up to us as well. And we need to get behind the boys. Whether you sit quietly, just clap along. If you usually clap along, why don't you join in with a chorus of Boscombe Back of the Net? We need to get the atmosphere rocking. And I know it looks a bit tin pot when they put out flags and clackers and all sorts of stuff. The thing is, we need to create an atmosphere. And for many seasons, there haven't been many times where we've done that. The last time it was brilliant was this. Do you remember this? Against Southampton at home. This video courtesy of Steve Wright. I'll pop the link to his channel up there in the corner. But this was when it was brilliant. Wow, all sides of the stadium singing. That's what we want. So get behind the boys tomorrow. Sometimes I've sat in the North Stand and I'm sing along, and the people to my left and my right aren't. And you feel like you're in the minority by singing. Let's turn it on its head and make them feel in the minority, because we've got to get behind them. Even if it gives that players that little bit of something, we need to do it. Even if they're playing poorly. I remember when we played Huddersfield at home away a couple of seasons ago, even before kickoff, their fans were the loudest I've ever heard them. Their team ended up winning 4-1. And they stayed up as well, I think, that season. So the crowd can make a massive difference. And, let's not be spoilt. Let's just get behind them come rain, wind or shine. Let's just get behind them tomorrow. It's not going to be easy because there are players out. Chris Mepham, knee injury, 12 weeks. What the fuck? It's just relentless. It's relentless. But got a sneaky suspicion that Nathan Ake could be back in contention. I'm going to go through my predicted team lineup shortly. We've had an early preview with Olly May. Check that one out as well. We'll pop the link in the description. Also, myself and Ollie were on the Premier League preview show that's beamed around the world, and we've been told that we're allowed to put this on our YouTube channel, apart from the highlights. So this was us previewing Sunday's game earlier on in the week, and you can see this now actually if you watch the Premier League preview show. Check it out. It's a very unique position for us because it's the first time we've entered the relegation zone for quite a while. People are worried. The size of our club dictates that it's going to be very difficult for us to get back up if we do get relegated.
Eddie Howe this season has been a shadow of himself for me. I think he's a fantastic manager. He is absolutely the greatest manager AFC Bournemouth have ever had, in my opinion anyway. This season, several mistakes in key areas and key moments of key games really have lost us results. Lost us points in crucial games from sides that are around us, sides that we need to be battling and picking up points against. And I think that's really what's let him down this season. But he is really the main man that can turn this around, and I believe that he absolutely will do that.
It needs to happen ASAP, and we've had moments and flashes in previous games and more recently in the FA Cup, and that shows that the unity is still there. That was one of the concerns, that there wasn't much team unity. It's clear that there is, and it's just tactically things have been going wrong. I've got a feeling we will be going to this match against Watford with a bit more confidence and hopefully with a win.
For Eddie Howe, it's about going back to basics, going back to what defines Bournemouth and the way they play. They seem to have strayed from that this season. We're so used to them as an attacking side, taking on side, scoring as many goals as possible, often taking an approach where we'll score more than you. And at the moment, they've lost that goal threat. The goals have dried up, and points have dried up as well. Historically, Bournemouth have struggled after Christmas. It's a period they haven't picked up points in generally, and normally those points are picked up before the Christmas period, and they start the season very strongly. It hasn't happened this time around, and with the fixture they've got coming up immediately, with Brighton visiting, Aston Villa visiting, and obviously Watford on Sunday, these are the games they have to pick up points in.
Yeah, so that was us on TV. I was freezing. I was wearing this actually, Ollie sensibly in a coat, and also just chatting to the producer about it, and he says, yeah, it's a crunch game, and the way that Sky managed to pick them, it's quite canny really, that obviously no one would have predicted this when they selected the games a couple of months ago, but the way it falls for them, sometimes you think it's a conspiracy. What is a conspiracy is that VAR last night. Did you see that? Declan Rice, I don't know what your opinions are of that, but reading a lot of fallout today. But hopefully it'll be a VAR unaffected match tomorrow, and this is the team lineup that I'm thinking it might be. So Ramsdale's a given, Rico's a given, then at the back I'm guessing that Ake could be back. So Ake and Steve Cook. If not, it's going to be Jack Simpson chucked in there as well. On the right hand side, Jack Stacey, harsh to have been missing out recently, but Frano's probably going to get the nod. A little bit of experience for him there. And then it comes to the midfield. Do we play 4-4-2? I'm probably thinking he will. Whilst the lineup's going to come out online and probably look completely different, I've got a feeling that you will be seeing Ryan Fraser and more than likely a bit of Harry Wilson as well. And then in the middle, Jefferson Lerma, surely to God. And then it's either one of Gosling. Oh, I don't know. I've got a feeling that Philip Billing may actually get the nod. That's what we're thinking based on previous games against Watford, and also in the situation that we're in at the moment. Having a sort of rigid formation may help us, but in all honesty, I'd prefer to see the 4-5-1. But we've spoke to a number of fans, and that is the formation that we've been told is the most likely. Let us know what you think. We'd love to know. Put it in the comments below, and just get behind the lads tomorrow. I'll be outside the ground, outside the 1910 bar, straight after full time, getting your interviews. So please do come along, because we would love to hear from you, get some new faces and some familiar ones on the channel, and hopefully it's going to be 3 points for the Cherries. And remember to download the podcast, of course. That's going to be out on Monday. It's going to be a busy old 12 hours, but we're going to make sure we do everything we can to get everything ready for your 7 o'clock podcast release on Monday morning. We'll also have the video on the YouTube channel, of course. Up the Cherries, and we'll see you in the next video, where hopefully we'll be jubilant. See you later.